It's my straw.
Oh man, it's gone.
Look at this. It looks like it looks like it blew its knee out and there's just no
repairing
it.
Yeah, like it tore its ACL.
Yeah.
It's gone. It's gone.
It's like Derrick Rose.
Welcome to Screencast, Kind of Funny's only entertainment-based podcast where we come together and talk about TV shows, movies, and streaming services. This show is streamed live every Friday at around 11:30ish at twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames.
Yes. Except for next Friday. We're talking about that?
I'll get there in a second. If you want to, you don't have time to watch us live, you can catch the VOD on YouTube or Rooster Teeth. If you don't want to look at our faces while you listen to our voices, no problem. You can find us on your favorite podcast streaming services. So, and if we're not on any of them, let Tim Gettys know, and he will fix it for you. I am your host, Kevin Coelho. To my immediate right, we have one, Nick, the man with a three-fingered review. Scarpino.
Heyo.
There it is. A lot of energy.
Yeah, sorry. We're all slowly getting sick. And I blame Joey, but before that, you said don't blame Joey, blame Gia. She's the originator.
That's
of the
what Joey
disease.
said.
And I always love that because there's something comforting in trying to find the one son of a bitch that
Patient
got
zero.
everyone sick. Yeah. Gia. Yeah.
To your right, my left, blessing the up and coming.
Yeah.
Adeoye.
I like
Junior.
I like the part of the intro where you say that we come together because it's nice.
Yeah.
It's
Look at us.
It's a lie though,
Sitting
because
here.
we're just at each other's throats.
I
Right before
hate
it starts.
hate him so. I just blocked him on Instagram. That's pretty
true.
exciting.
I do the same thing to people on OKB.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I understand that. What's up? How's it going?
Oh,
Yeah.
it's going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't feel sick, thankfully.
That's good.
Yeah.
Let me
you
go
will.
over.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Let
gonna go
me
over
lick
some...
your hands.
Jesus Christ, Nick. I'm gonna go over some housekeeping really quick. Go to the kindoffunny.com/store. We're still selling the Connect Between 3 and 5 shirt and blue hoodies. Is new stuff coming soon? I don't know. I don't get told about these things. But I am wearing a prototype beanie.
We do have new stuff available on October 1st, this coming Tuesday. I forget what the items are, but there will be stuff, so look out on Tuesday.
Ooh, it's exciting stuff. So check that out. If it's after October 1st. If it's before October 1st, you're gonna have to wait for that. All right. We also have Patreon producers Al Tribesman,
Danny boy.
and David Mintel.
Watch out. It's a dove. I love it.
All right, this show is brought to you by our sponsors, Upstart, but more about that later. Now let's talk about what we watched this week. Nicholas, you watch anything good this week?
I did. I watched Bill Burr's comedy special, per Blessing's recommendation.
Yeah. What'd you think?
I thought it was really funny.
Yeah.
Because, there's always like a good 20 minutes in there that I'm not crazy about. And I think he started off a bit slow for me. But I think when he got to some of the other, about midway through, he started getting a lot more clever. And Bill Burr is just fun to watch because I think you had mentioned it's kind of like watching someone who knows he's rousing you up a little bit, but then he like laughs at himself. He does that,
like,
and it's just I'm fucking.
You can see he gets the satisfaction of knowing that he just said something that pissed a lot of people off.
Yeah,
I love when comedians do that, when they have that moment of like laughing at their own joke.
Yeah.
Now, do I love it? Because I also laugh at a bunch of shit I say.
Oh God.
Sure do.
There's just a moment in the special though where he goes to take a drink of water and there's silence for a second, obviously because he's not speaking anymore, and the crowd starts cheering for him, but he's like, no. He's like, I'm okay with the silence. He's like, it lets me know when to move on. He's like, just laugh if it's funny. If not, I'll move on. It's okay. And it's just shit like that where like. It just reminds me of like what the level he's at and how entertaining it is listening to that guy talk. I'm also trying to finish Barry. I haven't finished season 2 of Barry, and I'm watching Ballers, the final season of Ballers, which is actually really, really good. I recommend it.
That's ongoing right now, right?
It's ongoing, yeah. So I was jet lagged the other night, and I was like, it's midnight. I'll just start Ballers. And there's 6 episodes. Surely I'm not going to get through all of them done. 4:00 in the morning. I'm like,
no.
I want more Ballers. And then I also started watching a weird British show called The Grand Design, where it's about a bunch of people in England or in the surrounding areas of Britain who are finding random places that you wouldn't think of to build houses or to retrofit buildings, and they build houses in them. So like,
that's cool.
one of the ones I just watched last night was they had this like this guy who was a realtor who buys and like flips properties, decided he wanted to move into a water tower in London, and it's an
really
8-story water tower.
Oh.
So he built he had to retrofit and tear out the structure itself had all these brick components to it that were extra to hold the weight of the water that they didn't need. They tore all those out, made bedrooms on every level, and then the top of it's like a 360-degree dome basically of London, and then they built an elevator lift on the side, and then another residency. So just cool stuff.
Like they don't have any open component to it, right? Like you can't see down.
No. But it's fascinating because they follow these people for an entire 2-year process, and so you see them. And every single time it's the same. They're like, "We're super excited about this. We can't wait." And the guy's like, "What's your budget?" And they're like, "Oh, our budget's like £500,000." And like, how long do you think it's gonna take? 8 months. And then 2 years later, and £800,000 later, they're like, "Oh, this has beat us down. We don't know if we do this again." But it's pretty fun.
That's cool.
And
that's on Netflix?
It's on Netflix, yeah. They've got 2 seasons on Netflix. And I think it's really, really cool to see. I just, me, I'm a process nut. I like seeing the thing from start to finish.
That shows.
I love seeing people like the one I watched another one the other day. It was like a joinery, and they basically found this old warehouse space because there's all these hidden warehouse spaces in amongst houses in London, and space is obviously at a premium because there's not much left. And so when you find this thing, it's like, how do you creatively turn this from an old dilapidated factory into a residence for you and your family and your 2 kids and stuff like that without pissing off the neighbors? Spoilers. They always piss off the neighbors, and it's really, really fun.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, it's cool.
Blessing, you watch anything good this week?
I've been watching.
He watched me work. What's up?
Oh yeah, dude, them guns.
What's up?
Oh man, bang bang. No, I've been watching.
You see the python on that?
Python. Oh wow, hello little guy.
No.
Oh,
It's my Horcrux. This is my other Horcrux. This is one that's just a whore though.
Oh wow.
Oh wow. Aiken, did you hear that joke?
I used to keep up with The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
The TV show.
Yeah.
And it's been bad because it's one of those shows where even when it started getting bad, I was like, I'm so invested in these characters. I'm so invested in this world that I feel like I just have to keep watching it because I've just come so far. And it didn't help that I also had a Walking Dead podcast that I'd listen to, and even on the podcast, it'd be kind of like in review, right? It'd be like a watch along, and they'd recap it and critique it and all that stuff, right? It had gotten to a point where the podcast that I listened to, they hated the show for seasons. But I started watching the show so I could listen to the podcast because I enjoyed the podcast. At a certain point, that podcast was like, "Yeah, we're stopping the show because we don't. That's how much we don't like the Walking Dead." And that started with the last season. And so, starting from the last season, I didn't keep up. Weirdly enough, that was the season where people were like, "Huh, there's some interesting things they're doing here. There's some interesting ideas. They're throwing out some good ideas into the show." And so hearing all that, when the show came out on Netflix, I decided to give it another shot. And so I started watching this last season of Walking Dead, and I am 6-7 episodes in, and I got to essentially a huge episode that I'm sure people who have watched The Walking Dead the last season probably know what episode I'm talking about. And man, they might have gotten me back in.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's one of
now, were you seasons behind at this point?
No.
Oh, so you were.
I literally just stopped at that last season. And I was like, I guess I'm done. And yeah, when it came out on Netflix, because usually I'd watch live. But yeah, this time around I waited for Netflix, and yeah, watching the first 6 episodes, it was definitely a slow start. And I was definitely like, okay, I don't know if this is gonna be the thing, but there's essentially a quick series of events, like 2 episodes back to back that essentially kind of brought the whole thing back for me. Now I don't know if I'm gonna continue watching it and get super into it again. It could be a thing where I watch the next 2 episodes and I'm like, okay, well, and they tried. I don't know yet, but so far, I'm into it. I'm not as exhausted with it as I've been for, I guess, the last 4 seasons. Because up to now, it's been a lot of the same. At least before this last season, right? It's been a lot of the same. We have one villain who's Negan, and it's about how the different communities interact with him being in play, and it's about taking him down or whatever, right? And now that's sort of wrapped up and we've gotten into this new thing. The new thing seems like it could be pretty cool. So, yeah.
That's really interesting. It's intriguing.
Do you watch Walking Dead?
I haven't watched in 3 seasons.
Yeah.
But I'm always on the edge of jumping back in.
And that's the thing, it's not bad.
People were saying good things about this last season, or at least the tail end of it.
Yeah, it's this. I feel like Walking Dead overall isn't bad enough where watching it feels like suffering. Where like I feel that way about like some of
Arrested
the
Development season 5.
Yeah, I still haven't seen season 5.
Don't.
I watched
it's better just to not.
season 4 was the first one that came out on Netflix,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I actually liked season 4.
No,
I
okay.
because I thought like the way they structured it, and like I don't want to get into details, but like the like some of the reveals they have towards the end of the season in terms of how things connect together. Even though you could tell that like, oh yeah, obviously they couldn't record the show with everybody in the same room or whatever, but like even a lot of the things they did, even with that constraint, by the end of it, I was really into it.
Interesting.
I've not watched season 5 just because I heard bad things.
Yes.
And I was just like, you know what, man? Like maybe I should just end with this good memory of Arrested Development.
Not bad call.
Yeah, but like Walking Dead isn't that bad overall. Like I feel like watching later CW shows, even like I get the thing where I'm like, okay, Flash season 4, I feel like I'm just wasting my time at a certain point, right? Or like later seasons of the Arrow. But like Walking Dead, I feel like is quality enough where I'm like, okay, well, I'm getting something out of this. It's just not what I feel like I should be getting as far as what the quality of the show should be for what it is and what I was getting for the first few seasons.
Yeah, storytelling-wise, The Walking Dead for me was always great. It was always like watching. It's all about the characters and watching them play in this world, or rather, be tortured in this world, I guess. The thing for me is just at a certain point, you're like, we're just going in a cycle here.
Right.
Yeah.
Where Negan's the bad guy, and I can totally tell Negan's going to come. Like somehow they're going to tell in a very good, probably creative way. Somehow Negan's going to be an ally at some point, and there's going to be another bad guy. And sure as shit, I saw a preview for the newest season, and it's the Whisperers or something like that.
Probably,
around, which is another gang, and it's like great, It's cool if you love torturing yourself and watching and trying to stay in this world.
Yeah.
But after a certain point, I need resolution and I need the story to come to an end.
I feel that.
And that was the issue I had with Lost, and that's the issue I have with Walking Dead. And at a certain point, it's just you either grow out of the show or you part ways.
But I feel like with Lost, they were really like they got to the point they're like, oh fuck, we have to be cool and edgy, and like Joss Whedon left. What do we do? What do we do? And then they kind of reached for stuff, and like things didn't feel like they were concluded. But anyways,
Yeah.
yeah.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah, what's up?
Because I know you're into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., right?
I watched the first like 3 seasons.
Okay,
maybe.
never mind that. Because I know there's a new season just dropped on Netflix, and I've been like flirting with the idea of jumping into it. Because I did keep up with
I mean,
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
it is very much like CW show where it's like,
Yeah.
oh man, this doesn't need this many episodes in the season. There's a lot of filler crap. But it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Did you watch the I forget if was it IED? There's some acronym, but like there's essentially a season where you don't know like who's a real person or not, right? Like is that sort of concept being
that
tackled?
it's like ILU or something like that.
Yeah, I think ILU literally means I love you, but like there's some acronym.
Hey, Andy.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody in chat will get it, but like
TYN. Thank you, Nick.
Oh, okay.
You didn't say it back though. Something you noticed.
Some of where they go with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Cool.
Gets really crazy. The last half of the last season kind of put a damper on it a little bit, but I was curious if you watched it because I wanted to know if I should watch this the last season that dropped on Netflix.
Were you looking for LMD, Life Model D?
LMD, yes.
LMD.
You guys are way off.
Yeah, I was like,
we were.
ILM? Was that what it was? I think that stands for something.
All right, well, things I watched. Still watching Succession, Righteous Gemstones.
I saw
recommend these
Succession-
goddamn shows enough.
Succession is one of those shows
I
where,
love
like,
Succession.
This is not a show that I should like, and I think a lot of the elements are just straight up weird for me. But fuck, it's addicting.
It's so good.
I don't know what it is about watching rich people be shitheads to each other, but it's cathartic.
It's fucking good, yeah. It's like, look, they're not happy either.
No, they're miserable. They're horrible, miserable human beings.
And then, Righteous Gemstone.
I gotta start watching that.
I really like it.
I
You guys
came
should
in,
check it out.
I was like, I'm gonna stay away from this because I don't need another
Yeah.
show in my life. And then I remember you recommended it, so like at 2:00 in the morning the other day it was on. I was like, I'll start watching it. And I just fucking love Danny McBride and
He's
Adam
great.
Devine
He's so
and John
good.
Goodman. Like
It's
the
a
entire
great
cast is phenomenal.
Yeah.
So
And,
I'll
the
probably
story
get
is
into
interesting, yeah. And then the last thing I watched is Avatar, The Last Airbender season
Ooh.
1, which I picked up earlier this week.
All right.
how'd you watch it?
So good. I bought a Blu-ray set.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've been thinking
It's
about
really good.
because I watched it as a kid, but I never really like watched it from front to back.
Mhm.
Right, there was always like reruns on TV, and so I'd catch it when it's on. But I never really like sat down and really watched Avatar: The Last Airbender.
You get a lot out of it
Yeah.
if you sit down and watch it.
Yeah,
like,
that's what it
the way
seems
it was
like.
meant to. Yeah.
And so like I've been flirting with the idea of watching it, but I know it doesn't seem like it's on any streaming services.
It isn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why like I finally was like, fuck it, I'll buy it. Also, this isn't something I watched on thing, but like I saw Dave Chappelle do stand up.
Nice.
And that was goddamn amazing.
Well, you saw
in person, yeah.
Wow, where did you go see Dave Chappelle?
Did I not tell you about this?
No.
Punchline on Wednesday.
Oh shit, you got tickets to that?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was incredible. The man holds the room like no one else. Also, smoking. He's just smoking during a
they just let him
set,
smoke.
and it's just it was
it's weird.
phenomenal.
I think they used to be able to let people smoke under like performance art sort of laws. Now I just think they don't care. I think they're like, what? Fuck it. If we get dinged for this, we'll just pay the fine.
Yeah.
I'm sure Chappelle will give the money back.
He was incredible. He was amazing. If you ever get a chance to see him,
What's unbelievable about that is obviously a special came out 2 weeks ago, I want to say.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm sure he recorded that a while back.
Yeah.
It's got to get posted and then it takes a while to get released and all that stuff. But it's crazy to me to think like your special just posted and you're back at it. You're back in the clubs, and he's probably been back in the clubs for a few months at this point. And how long did he do? Like 3 hours?
No, it was an hour and a half. Well, 2 hours. 2
Did he
hours.
have an opener?
But he did. She wasn't very good. She seemed super nervous.
Was it was it a local opener or was it one of his
I
people?
don't know. She was saying she was from LA. So
Okay,
yeah.
He might have brought her with him.
She had moments, but she was also just kind of pacing, and like there was a lot of and like, where am I gonna go next? And it's just like I felt like before going before Dave, like go out there and go hard.
Well,
you know?
it's one of those things
But
where
it's
you don't really
scary,
have to
yeah.
because at the end of the day,
It
whoever
doesn't
you
matter,
bring,
yeah.
it doesn't fucking
Yeah,
matter.
yeah.
If I opened for Dave Chappelle, it didn't matter if I crushed or who cares?
Right.
He's going to come in and destroy the crowd no matter what the opener does. So it's actually kind of cool that he's bringing people with, because like Rogan will do that too. Rogan brings really seasoned comics with him, but I like when big headliners will give other people a shot, because you kind of have to cultivate that, right? You have to sort of like help bring people up with you, and it's cool. You get them used to that level of performance and that level of nerves that go into like opening for a big act like that.
Did it feel like he was going like off the top of the dome, or did it feel like prepared material?
No, I mean there was a little bit of prepared material, felt like, but then there was a big section at the end where he was just like, "What do you guys want to talk about?" And he would like randomly pick people.
He's so good at
and
that.
talk with them. And then I went with. Yeah, well, I was trying to figure out what name should I use for him.
What does the audience
yeah,
know,
yeah,
man?
yeah. Cheeks, who's hosted on Games Daily before. He actually got the tickets.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's so cool.
And he was telling me, because like I haven't seen any of his latest stuff. It wasn't any of that stuff. And he was saying like, oh shit, this is definitely how he develops his jokes.
Oh yeah.
It was incredible. Seeing someone that like is that good at what they do, going in front of everyone, goddamn, it was
Yeah,
an
he's
amazing
just
thing.
he's not only a very, very smart person, but he's got so much experience at this point that it's my understanding he'll go up and do like hours of what seemingly off the top of his head material, and then he'll like the next night he'll come back and like have honed that stuff. And it's so cool to see that. Like for me to include a new joke into my set, I have to go out there and like drill it at open mics for a long time, and then I'll just forget it. Like I'll forget to put it in where I was supposed to put it in. Whereas like a guy like Dave Chappelle will come and do a joke, and then boom, it's just there. Like he has to still develop it, but like his ability to develop material is just so fascinating to me. Especially all those guys at that top level. Just they've already gone through all the crap that I haven't gone through yet. It's really cool.
Andy, what's up? Why are you here?
I watched some recent stuff that I've been kind of wanting to talk about for a while. Just super quick.
Ozark,
I
finally?
watched Decoding Bill Gates.
Oh, how was that?
Which is the documentary. It wasn't super great. I thought there were some interesting things that we learned about him.
My thing is like, what's he done for us lately? You know what I mean?
I think like donated like hundreds of millions of dollars
I
to
said
charity.
for us.
It's mostly all he's done lately. Like it does this weird
It's
thing.
all the humanitarian work.
It does a
stuff,
weird
right?
thing where it talks about all his humanitarian work and all his philanthropy, but then it also will like they'll try to seamlessly transition that with something in his past where he was dealing with the death of his mother, and like he was speeding one time, and it's just it wasn't super well made, but it's interesting.
It's like that's weird. He's like he was dealing with the death of his mother, and he got a speeding ticket.
Well, that's
And then he redefined GPS.
They like really focused on it for
The speeding
one
ticket?
segment, because they do a cool thing where
probably 'cause
they
he has no-
when they tell the old stories in the past, they do like a little animated vignette, and like they show you like whatever. And so one day I guess he was dealing with a lot of shit, and he just like started fucking. It's like one of his famous mug shots where they're smiling into the camera because he was going, I don't know how fucking fast he was going or whatever, but they talk about like just how he grew up and how he was always super smart as a kid, but then they'll fast forward to how he's trying to make in Nigeria, where if you shit, where does that shit go? And where, and just all the machinery that they're building for
he's also
third
trying
world
to
countries.
Eradicate disease, right? Like
Polio.
Polio, that's
Yeah.
what it was. Like, because I heard Melinda Gates, right, is his wife. She was on David Letterman's Netflix show, and it was a fascinating interview because she is very accomplished in her own right. And I didn't know too much about her. And she's just like, she talks about David, she talks about their initiatives there, and she's like, imagine if we just took all the wealth and focused it on like curing polio. Guess what happens? Or like curing polio rather, but like eradicating it.
Yeah.
Guess what happens?
It gets
We
eradicated.
fucking eradicate polio.
Yeah.
And it's such a cool, like, taking these grand issues and bringing them down, like, from 10,000 feet to, like, ground level of saying, like, if we just focus on this one thing with all the wealth, we can knock those out one-on-one. And I was like, I was so impressed by her that I highly recommend everyone go.
It's cool
go,
seeing
go
both of
listen to
them
that
talk
one.
on camera, because he talks at one point where he's just like, yeah, I forgot what I was doing. I've left Microsoft by this point, and I keep hearing that people are still dying of diarrhea. And it's like, how in this day and age is diarrhea still such a threat? So they, it's because the drinking water is just so gross and so like infected and stuff. So they create this machine that, like, it turns like your shit into steam, and that steam turns into clean drinking water. And it's just like all this genius stuff where they're just like, yeah, we want this done. And they threw a contest. It's interesting. I don't think it's like a must watch or whatever. I also watched Screwball.
Oh my God.
The Balco
How
steroids story.
Great was that documentary.
Such a great documentary.
That's on Netflix too?
Yes.
It's on Netflix
It
as
is
well. Just
bonkers.
Talks about all the baseball, the steroids in baseball, and how Balco kind of just created this lifestyle of, you come in here and you do your dosages, and if you get caught, it's on you, because if you do your dosages right, you won't get caught. And they just talk about how it's really good. I cannot recommend it more. Even if you don't give a shit about baseball, it's just really cool hearing these stories.
It's also great. It's the one I was talking about a couple weeks ago where they use the kids to do the reenactments.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, this is quirky and fun, but you don't realize that the whole time it's a meta commentary on like the fact that kids are the ones that are most affected by this shit.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones that like remember, because he didn't get popped until he started fucking dosing high school kids with steroids.
Yeah.
Fucking
And then
crazy.
the feds were like, look, dude, all right, you give it to A-Rod, we don't give a fuck. Like A-Rod's an A-Rod, but like you can't start injecting like junior high kids with anabolic steroids.
Parents were bringing in their kids, like, how do we get
Fucking wild.
And it's testosterone, so it's not like it's not necessarily
With hormones.
Yeah, it's not like a steroid thing though. It's just like normal human beings can take it, but if you're an athlete competing, that's where you will get dinged for it and stuff like that.
Like you can have problems with like your body stops producing
Sure, yeah.
testosterone because it's like, oh, we have enough.
Well, no,
And
what
you
he's
have
saying
a-
is that it's not necessarily illegal to be taking
Sure.
testosterone. It is against the laws of the
Got it.
Major League Baseball,
Yeah,
yeah.
Major League Baseball. But no, to Kevin's point earlier, and this was the bigger issue, was that when you start injecting people who are still developing with hormones like that, there's no telling how it's going to fuck
Yeah.
up their endocrine system. And actually, that's the problem a lot of fighters have, is when they stop fighting and they stop doing it,
Yeah.
it fucks them
Yeah.
up. You can never get those levels back, and they're like, it's bad. Although to that point, a lot of guys go on like TRT, like testosterone replacement therapy, around 40. So what's up, January? That's all
He's
I'm
gonna
saying.
get jacked.
Bam.
It's
I want that Barry Bonds, Mark McGuire. Mark McGuire, where it's like a shot of him from a year before, and he's like tidy, and then
Yeah.
it's just fucking Hulk Hogan arms this guy has.
It's something that I definitely want like a 10 episode season of, because it's the story is so out there. It's like, this can't be real. There's so many like outlandish things that happen in it.
What's
It's
real
really
is how
good.
fucking dumb the guys are. Like, this is what always impresses me about these massive things, is that everyone involved are fucking morons, and they get caught, and then they're shocked that they got caught.
Well,
They're like advertised. Like one of the guys was like, "I want to help you guys market this." Like one of the main characters, this fucking idiot, was like, "I want to come in. This is a great service. I want to help you guys market this," not realizing that the things that the doctor's doing are completely illegal, and he wants to advertise them.
I
He's like, "I'll help you market this."
wonder if there's like someone that
So
isn't an
good.
idiot that's doing like that had been doing this, maybe still doing this, just hasn't gotten caught because they're not an idiot. You know what I mean? Like
Oh.
the stupid people get caught, the smart people
yeah.
are just still like, all right, let's make sure everybody. Yep, that's them over there.
Well, when the guy got caught, it was the same week, or I believe the same day that Michael Jackson died, and also Farrah Fawcett.
That's why he like. That's why it
so he
kind
was
of
like-
went underneath the radar.
He was
right?
like, we'll get buried in the news.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
He was like, this is great.
And he just
We'll
kept doing it.
resurface.
Yeah.
And then we'll come back and then.
What's
sure
crazy is
enough, they did.
A-Rod comes off like a psychopath.
Oh,
in
yeah.
this. He's fucking crazy.
Yeah, they were like, he's eccentric, but really, I just think he's crazy. Like,
Because then they show this painting he has of himself where he's a centaur in his house. It's
Yeah.
like a giant wall where he's just like this,
Can you
and it's
Google
like a
this?
centaur. You can Google it.
A-Rod
Oh,
Centaur.
God.
Just say A-Rod centaur
it's a real
painting. You'll
thing.
see
Anyway,
it.
yeah, I highly recommend it. And yeah, Between Two Ferns movie, pretty good.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Nothing fantastic, but I do think it's worth a watch. I do think the outtakes are better than the whole movie.
How long is it?
Super short. I believe it's like an hour, maybe.
Okay.
An hour and 10 minutes.
I like, I
I
like
wanna
the
check that
other
out.
preview where he's like, "You're not wearing a shirt." Is everything like to Matthew McConaughey? First question: I noticed you're wearing a shirt. Is everything okay?
And then I started rewatching Breaking Bad, but not
Fuck
from,
yeah, you did.
not
El
from the
Camino.
beginning.
Oh my God, is that
Oh,
the
wow.
painting or
That's
is this like a
not the painting.
No.
That's
That
not
was
the
like
painting,
the
but
only
it's-
thing I could find really on the internet.
Yeah, I don't believe there are actual photos of it because A-Rod
feel
is
like a
very like put your
screensh-
phones away when you're in my house.
But they got a
Like-
shot of it in his house.
No. It's the kids reenacting it.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah, there's a
okay.
moment where the kid like walks into A-Rod's house and he's like talking to A-Rod and he looks at the wall and he's like, "What the fuck?"
It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I started rewatching Breaking Bad, not from the very beginning, just from season 3, just so I can kind of get prepared for El Camino. Can't fucking wait.
He's half-assing it, half measures.
Yeah, that seems like a half measure.
Yeah.
We don't do half measures here, Walt.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Get on right
I'm proud
there.
of you.
Thanks,
Come
man.
back during trailer talk. Maybe we can talk about the
Okay.
El Camino.
And then I've also been watching Breaking Bad. I think the last update I gave was I was ending season 1, and now I'm close to ending season 3. So I think I'm gonna make
All
it.
right,
I
moving
think
right
I'm
along.
Yeah.
No half-assing it over here. That's what I'm talking
Is
about.
Breaking Bad on Netflix?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I might.
It's
You should check it out.
available.
I watched it, but I
recently
might
in
rewatch
4K
it.
UHD HDR.
Which is what you want.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sweet, sweet HCR. Alrighty, now it's time for some news.
Sorry, we're tired. It's low energy day.
No worries, no worries. You guys
Yeah.
nailed it. Now the biggest and most important news. In fact, it's so important. Tim! Call him Tim. See if he
All
comes.
right, you know what? This one deserves the news.
There it is.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah.
Ladies and gents, Spider-Man will stay in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Oh, this morning, breaking news: Spider-Man staying in. Sony and Disney figured out a solution. He's gonna be in one of the movies, or he's gonna have his own standalone movie, and then he's gonna be one of the Marvel movies. Right? Does that sound right to you?
That's right.
Mhm.
Variety reported all this,
Yeah.
so you know it's real. Then Deadline, then Hollywood Reporter. It's a very exciting morning for everyone. My spider senses were tingling. Woke up at about 7:30 in the morning. That's a very un-Tim Gettys move. And I woke up to some good news. You know what I mean?
Very
exciting stuff. I think this is great. It's obviously paving the way for the future. There's going to be more. If they negotiated this, they will negotiate more in the future.
Now, do you know the deal that they had?
that they had.
Yeah, where it was like Disney would make 5% off off the first dollar, which not a term that I'm familiar with, and then had rights to the merchandise.
Mm-hmm.
So now Disney's gonna get 25% of the third movie and retains rights
To merch. Yep.
Yeah, which rumored they wanted 50% of the money.
Yeah, but that was always a
Yeah, yeah.
negotiating tactic.
Sure.
And when the story broke and everyone was heartbroken about it, and we knew it wasn't inevitable. This is too good of a deal for them to fuck up. So they came to terms, and that's great. I'm super
The
happy.
thing
to
that
see
I'm excited about, though, is you're right. Is like we all knew that. Well, we all hoped.
We all hoped because
that it was gonna happen.
Like, did any of us really think like, oh my god, this is the end of an era? and the undoing?
last
No,
week,
like,
I feel like last week they were like, "Hey, there's no deal. Like things as of right now, Dunskies." A bunch of people were like, "I guess goodbye."
And last night there were like even reports of like a Madam Web movie being made. It
Yep,
was like,
there's a whole bunch of those.
I wonder if
I
this
don't
is
want to
how
talk
they
about any of
can.
those. I hate them. I hate them. I don't want anything in Fox's.
It's not Fox.
Or
it's
Sony,
Sony.
sorry,
Like,
Sony
It's all
fans.
happening. And do you have the Kevin Feige quote?
No, the one quote where he
Very
was,
little was said about this, like officially, but Kevin Feige was like, "Yeah, we made something work. This is happening, and Spider-Man's getting one more solo movie. It's a sequel to Far From Home. Going to be in one more MCU movie, and also, you know, he's the only superhero that has the superpower of being able to jump between movie universes. So stay tuned for some surprises there.
What does that mean
So-
that he's going to be in a solo movie than an MCU movie, like a team up
the
movie?
solo-
Or?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
So one main role and one supporting role.
So we're, Spider-Man
Gotcha.
3
Yeah,
and then
like an
maybe in the
Avengers.
Avengers style movie.
Maybe Doctor Strange.
You think so?
That'd be awesome.
Oh
maybe.
yeah,
It would be really cool. But see, that's where we get into the like really upsetting things. Of,
It's
like,
happening, Kevin.
if
Like,
we
just
get-
wrap your head around it. Tom Holland's gonna be in Venom 2.
That I'm fine with that, just because I can ignore that. Like as long as that doesn't have any long-term effects on the MCU, I'm fine with that. My problem is we like the Doctor Strange. It'd be really cool if they started introducing Madam Web. You know, but are they going to be able to? No, because they don't own the rights to her.
I mean, if they're playing nice with the universes, they would be able to. I think that there's a good chance. I think Doctor Strange might be a little too soon to be messing around with all that, but it's going to happen. The Sony Spider Universe is going to be adjacent to the MCU going forward. Not in, adjacent to, but it's going to... There's going to be shared characters for sure. But going back to what you were saying, Nick, about like it being a sure thing, I would say that like I would have bet that they were going to come to a deal. I did not think they were going to come to a deal that was going to result in the Spider-Man movie getting a release date of July 2021. That is the most shocking news to me here, because I thought that all this was like, fuck, they're pushing back all the plans. This is going to throw everything off like James Gunn getting fired did for Guardians 3. But now we're getting 4 MCU movies in 2021, in addition to 4 MCU Disney Plus shows. It's going to be crazy shit,
Exciting
man.
stuff. Yeah, how does this affect the like timeline thing that we've seen?
This slides into the July spot that we predicted this was going to fall into in July. But then when all this went down, I was like, there's no way. But they figured it out.
Thank
So
God.
that's the key thing is timing here, because this means that the plans get to continue as planned.
What movie is it after then, and like what movie is it? Do we know like what comes
Yes.
before
Can you
it?
bring up the timeline? I think we can find it, right?
It would be after Shang-Chi,
Okay.
and it would be after Doctor Strange. So the idea of him leaving Doctor Strange is probably not going to happen, because Shang-Chi is February, Doctor Strange is May, this would be July, and then November is Thor 4.
Yeah. How about that?
How about that?
Well, how about that? Well, it's very exciting either way.
Yeah, this is
I'm glad
awesome.
they reached an agreement, and it's good. The world is right again.
2021 about to be lit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very exciting stuff.
Hashtag Liddy.
God, such a good solution.
Hashtag
Is it
G-coordinating.
like a stopgap solution? Like, you know, this is not
It's always going to be
long-term
until
thing.
Disney figures out. There's a group of people at Disney
Yeah.
that are sitting in a boardroom right now going, how the fuck do we buy Sony without triggering a massive antitrust problem, right? But I guarantee they're trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
And once they do, they'll put the kibosh on Venom or figure it out there too. But I don't know.
I just
Yeah.
wonder if, like, post the second movie that comes out, right, that they've made a deal for, are we going to be in the same situation where we're
Probably.
like, all right, is he going to stay in it? And what's scary about that is you got to imagine that, like, Marvel, Feige is, like, sitting there being like, we might not be able to broker a deal next time that, like, he wants. So he might have to, like, start kind of putting Spider-Man in a place where maybe his story can end.
Yeah,
And, like,
that's
I don't like that either.
I don't like that either. But like that's at least a better case than we
That's
have
true.
now, where it's
Where
like
it just ended.
yeah, where like literally they just sent him out to be the next Iron Man,
Mhm.
right? And so for him to leave now would be like super upsetting.
Yeah.
And so at least they have the chance. You know, I don't know if they're gonna take the chance now that they know that this might very well not pan out for them.
Mhm.
That like they make like a big cliffhanger and all of a sudden they can't carry it through. I really do hope that they, you know, if this is not a long-term thing, I really do hope that they like wrap things up in an appropriate way.
Yeah, they also just launched the dailybugle.net or something, which is a website that is like a fake Daily Bugle.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it's got J.
Oh.
Jonah Jameson. Like, there's like one video up right now.
That's
It's
fun.
it's really
is it
it's
like
fun.
From the movie? Or is
I think it's either from the movie or like very similar.
this gotcha?
Yeah. But that's just a weird thing. I mean, cool, good. You know, more
Mhm.
Spider-Man. I'm
Yeah.
so excited.
That's great.
Can't wait. Next news story. Sequel to The Babysitter.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. McG making another movie. Cast they put out is Bella Thorne, Robbie Amell, Hannah
I
Mae
love
Lee,
Robbie Amell.
Judah Lewis, Emily Allen Lind, and Andrew Batchelor. I don't recognize many of these names.
Ken Reno, you know. Leslie Bibb, you know as well.
You like the
great.
first one?
Fuck yeah. It was fun and dumb and silly.
I haven't watched it. It's on my list of stuff
You
to
should
watch.
watch it. It's
Well, now
super
that
fun.
Halloween's around the corner, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it smacks of like a almost like 80s homage. Like silly horror film that doesn't take itself too seriously. It's fun, and McG for all of his past trials and tribulations is a very capable director, and when he has the right material, he makes a fun movie. I liked it.
I totally didn't realize that I watched The Babysitter. The movie was the first one, at least I thought was pretty ridiculous but entertaining.
Yeah,
like it was definitely like, I wouldn't watch this movie again, but I don't regret the fact that I watched it.
I'll watch the sequel though if they have some fun with it.
Like if it's fun, like if they like amp up the stupidity of the first movie, because it got stupid.
Oh, it got dumb. Yeah,
like if they
got real dumb.
If they take that and kind of amp it up, I could be into that.
Yeah, because it gets to a point where you're like, is this just a horror version of Home Alone? Like, what's going on here?
No, exactly.
And that's fun. It's cool.
All right.
Yeah, I'm into
Good
it.
stuff. Next news story: Seinfeld cable rights land at Viacom. Viacom. Yeah, Viacom.
Now, does that mean that it's going to be on the Warner app?
No.
Or the HBO
No,
Max
no,
app?
no,
Which one's Viacom?
So Viacom's doing the NBC, right? They're merging right now with NBC.
Okay.
So is that Peacock? Is that NBC Peacock? Yeah.
Well, yeah, sure. I thought CBS was a Peacock. Hold on.
I don't know. It's not one of the streaming apps that I'm gonna have. But no, that doesn't affect it. So this is cable and like TV rights only.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're right. It's
but
the NBC.
This is really interesting in the sense that here, let me read the story. Viacom has picked up the exclusive cable syndication rights to Seinfeld, which will be leaving TBS around the same time that the show leaves Hulu. That means that you'll have a variety of places that you'll be able to watch Seinfeld, including Comedy Central, which I think is super interesting. And, not a lot of people are our age, I think, are watching, well, our age, a lot older.
Oh, yeah.
Are watching
the
cable.
40s.
But I feel like kids are still watching cable and Comedy Central.
Comedy Central still has a dedicated
I
audience,
feel like that's a really cool spot for Seinfeld reruns to go.
Mm-hmm.
It will be available on certain apps like CBS, Pop TV, Comedy Central app.
Is it going to be on CBS All Access?
They didn't say. But I think they're going to do the thing where it's like, oh, these episodes are streaming, these are the episodes available. So it's not going to be the full catalog. Because that, I think, is going to be on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah.
God, I want that. Dude, as soon as Seinfeld comes to a service that I have for free, I'm going to marathon this shit out of that
It's
show.
very exciting.
I love that show so
much.
much.
And it's going to be on 4K.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, because I guess it's old enough to have been shot
on film. Yeah.
Wow, that's
What
crazy.
is interesting, I watched a 12-minute documentary of how it was taken from, 4:3 to
widescreen?
Yeah, 16:9. And it's because they have the film, they
they could recut it.
They readjust the angle.
That's really cool.
But what's weird is it wasn't meant to be shot like that. So they were doing a side-by-side comparison on certain angles looking too cropped and too tight. And really
because
cool.
unless you shot with the notion of the frame being widescreen, you still have to crop in on the frame.
Right. So
you're actually cropping that. I don't like that.
Yeah.
When they do that.
gain more of the sides, but because they weren't recording thinking of the sides.
Right.
The sides
that's
are
the problem.
just
So you might have stuff there, but also the frame is
Yeah.
completely off. Like when you're framing for 4:3, that's where all the action is.
Right.
So you're gonna get a lot of negative space on the sides, but nothing's happening.
Right.
It'll fuck me up.
Yeah.
I don't like that. I don't know why they wouldn't just keep it 4:3. But I guess people just don't understand the concept of 4:3 anymore.
Right. And it's just people don't like letterboxing necessarily,
Yeah.
I'm right now watching The Last Airbender.
Mhm.
The first season is 4:3. I don't know if the second or third are.
No, that entire show is 4:3.
Okay, yeah, the entire show. So it is weird having this awesome TV.
It's so funny
seeing
because
this giant letterbox.
back in the day, I remember having a conversation with one of my friends because they didn't grasp the concept of the opposite, where you letterbox for widescreen. Because back in the day when all TVs were 4:3 and they wanted to release a widescreen movie, they would
Bars
put
at
it
the
into
top.
the middle of the screen and you'd have bars.
Yeah.
And I remember distinctly trying to convince my friend that they weren't just putting bars over the top and bottom of the image. I was like, no, they're not doing that. You're seeing the full image is just shrunken down on your screen. And he's like, no, man, there's totally more stuff up there and down there. I'm like, why would they give them that much headspace? That's not what they're doing.
not
crazy.
at all.
But yeah, I don't know. One day we'll be all caught up. I don't know. I don't need Seinfeld to be a perfect 4K thing. It's not about that. It's about the performances, about the comedy and the silliness of it.
Yeah. Interesting stuff. I remember growing up, like when a show would come like that I had never heard of, like to Comedy Central or like Adult Swim, like Dragon Ball Z got on there. It was like, oh, it's cool, and like I feel like they're gonna be able to do this to a new audience, and super excited for people to be really into Seinfeld more, especially they're coming to Netflix.
People in the chat are saying it's on Hulu to stream. I didn't know.
Hulu right now, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, guess what? I'm streaming later. Actually, do I still have Hulu? I gotta check that. Never mind.
Next news story.
Oh no.
Next news story. Marvel's Ghost Rider TV series is dead at Hulu.
Dang.
Dead. Got canceled.
Thank God.
Yeah. Hulu's decided not to move forward with Marvel's live-action Ghost Rider TV series starring Gabriel Luna as the vengeful anti-hero. The series would have seen Luna reprise his role as Ruby Reyes after he first made his debut as the Hellfire-wielding superhero on ABC's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. But from my understanding, it wasn't. It was going to be like a reimagining using the same character.
I didn't even know this was happening.
Okay.
I didn't realize it was the same, actor and character in that show. Which
is weird because it wasn't going to be connected. It was going to be totally a new storyline.
The whole Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. thing is so weird because like I was super into it until this last until like I watched maybe like the first few minutes of the first episode of this last season. I was like, so are they not going to acknowledge what went down in Endgame?
But that's the thing, like it's not connected.
Yeah,
as much as we want to be like, oh, it is, and like, oh, that's where the
but like I feel like that's what
helicarrier came from, and it's like
but that's what made that show special too.
But it only came from that because the show said it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like, and now it's at a point where it's like, okay, yeah, well, it's gonna be divorced from that. I understand that, right? It's obviously divorced from like the Netflix stuff, right? Because that's how that pans out, right? And then for Ghost Rider to then, well, to have been planned to have been, I guess, divorced from that, from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Like what was the plan here?
I don't know, and I think that's why we're seeing it get canceled.
Especially since in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., he like showed up and he was like a pretty cool character, but it did feel like almost like, when Flash showed up in Arrow, where you're like, this guy's gonna get his own show at a certain point. And so
the like official line that they gave here is Hulu and Marvel did not give an official reason for the Ghost Rider cancellation, but Deadline reports that the streamer and the Ghost Rider team had reached a creative impasse which could not be resolved. So I guess they didn't give an official, but like that's the rumor.
Yeah.
And it's just probably that doesn't fit. And now they're doing Disney Plus stuff, so
yeah,
it's weird that this deal stayed as long as it did.
Yeah,
it got announced when it did.
It did. I don't think it needed to exist, and now it especially doesn't need to exist with Disney Plus and that lineup of shows.
Yeah, the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. thing is always so weird, where it's like they're doing their own thing. But like they were trying to include it, and like from my understanding, there is a divergence point where it's like, okay, now it's a different universe.
Yeah, and I can probably like in my head pinpoint where that might be in the show. Like they don't necessarily like. Maybe it's just because I wasn't paying attention to like news or whatever, or blogs or whatever when maybe the divergence point happened. But it wasn't until this last season or the season before last season where I was like, okay, are we even trying to be in the same universe? Like, there's an episode in the season before last where they do like mention Thanos, and Thanos is like kind of a small plot point. But like in the last season, they just seem to have ignored it as far as I can see.
Interesting.
So, it's weird.
Yeah,
it's a really weird show.
Our last news story: Marvel's Kevin Feige developing a new Star Wars movie.
Now here's I have a qualm. I have a bone to pick with you.
With me?
Yeah, you said that the biggest news story of the day was the Spider-Man stuff. This is fucking 100%. Huge.
No, but like this is not like confirmed either. Like it's going back and forth. I was gonna start by being like,
if this is legit, this is fucking. And I hate to use this term because it's a Tim Gettys coined term, but this is a game changer.
Yeah.
If they put the fucking Star Wars, the future of the Star Wars franchise, with the team that's making all the Marvel movies. It is going to be a fucking behemoth.
But so I brought this up to Tim, and he brought up an excellent point of like, is this what we want?
Yes.
Like, fuck that. No, but like Marvel's doing really good. Do we want Marvel like head to be now split and him working on Star Wars movie? Now, granted, also he's not like Kathleen Kennedy. Her contract was up recently, and like there was some talk of, oh, are they going to offer to Feige? They've confirmed that like Kathleen Kennedy is staying on. And he's like, "Oh, I'm not gonna be touching the that side of it."
Yeah,
so he might be producing something.
I don't know how this shakes out, but all I'll say is this: to use a counter argument for that, right? is that we still have a lot of stakeholders from Sony doing the Spider-Man movies, and they're turning out okay as well, right? Are we not? We didn't like Homecoming and Far From Home?
Got it. Okay, yeah, those. Yeah, sure.
Not the Venom movies.
Yeah,
what I'm saying is the projects where Marvel consults, they turn out good, right? And that's largely because Kevin Feige, I have to imagine, goes through the script and goes, okay, guys, like let's tweak this. He's put together a team of people that know what they're doing. And so they can help guide these. I'm not saying it's going to be the second coming of Jesus Christ. Like, it's not going to be like, water, wine, there you go. But what I am saying is that if we were sitting in a room and I was like, we're struggling with something, and there was a guy in the room right next to us that could really help us out with it, like, yo, let's go over and ask him for some advice. And I am 100% behind Kevin Feige putting together a team of directors and writers and producers that can take Star Wars into the next era.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't think those people are the ones that Kathleen Kennedy has laid out, unfortunately. They're just proving to be a little too disjointed. If you said, hey, we're going to put him together with the guys that did Game of Thrones, that could be very exciting. That could be pretty cool, right? We're going to put him together in a room with J.J. Abrams. Holy shit, yeah, that could be an amazing collaboration. So we'll have to wait and see. But I like that what Kevin Feige's been able to do is something that's very, very difficult and unprecedented, right? Which is to have someone who actually is a visionary sitting on top of this amazing structure that other really talented people have built, and he just like helps shepherd them and guide them a little bit. That is very, 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 very important, and that's something that even George Lucas himself couldn't necessarily do. And like when he did, he succeeded. When he relented the control. But I just don't think George Lucas was able to actually like put his ego aside because he wanted to direct too much.
From what I've heard, it was like the opposite problem, where when he was on his own, things were a little wild. But like when he had like a production team ahead of him being like, no. Like Han Solo's not going to be a lizard man.
When he didn't have.
That's why the prequels are like, because that was him.
Right,
with more control.
And I think that was sort of the point I was trying to make, which was that when he was able to help let other people direct and step aside and just be a producer, they turned out better. But I think his ego got in the way, and he wanted to be the one that was writing, directing, and producing these things. Then all of a sudden, what we get is people in the prequels slowly walking on green screen shots the entire time. And
Nick, I hate sand.
What's that?
It's coarse.
Sand. It gets everywhere. Into your butt crack.
Oh God! I knew when you twisted that you were gonna say something horrible.
It's in my butt crack. Somebody go in and get it.
Yeah, this is really interesting news.
I think it's awesome.
I'm very interested to see how it develops, but I love the MCU.
Yeah.
It won't.
I don't want this to get in the way of it.
Guys, we got billions of dollars. We're going to figure it out. We also have the Russo brothers. Don't forget about those guys.
They've said that they're done for a little while.
I mean, they deserve a break. Let them go on vacation. Yeah. But it's not. Who's to say they can't come in as producers and consultants on some of these projects as well and shepherd them in? I mean, they made Endgame, for Christ's sake. It doesn't get any better. It literally does not get any better than that. So if there's lots of people working in the MCU right now that can direct and write and star in these great movies. Let Kevin Feige go over and fix the fucking Titanic that's happening on the other side of the room and get that iceberg out of its ass.
It also seems like they want Star Wars to be a universe. Like, no pun intended. Like, it seems like, between...
And I'm down for that. I'd love that.
I'm not down for I'm down for it if it's
good. If it's done the way the MCU has been
quotes
done.
coming out from Bob Iger because he wrote a book and he's like, yeah, we fucked up. We basically didn't treat this with enough respect, and we put out way too much Star Wars. And it's fine. Listen, I distinctly remember when the news broke that, hey, we're doing 3 Star Wars films and then we're doing these standalone Star Wars story films. I was jacked for it. I'm like, holy shit. It's worked with Marvel. They're just going to take what works over there and mirror it with Star Wars, and they're going to respect it, and it's going to be great. And unfortunately, it just didn't work out that way. So I think this would be a smart move for them to take a step back. They've already, in my opinion, I give Disney kudos and Bob Iger kudos for saying, yeah, we tried something, it didn't work, we fucked up. We spread ourselves too thinly. Let's go back and maybe lay a stronger foundation so that we can then spread it out into a universe later on. We got The Mandalorian coming. Who do we have for that? We've got great, really talented directors, not the least of which is Jon Favreau, who helped, I would say, start this whole fucking thing. Right? I went back and watched Iron Man again on the plane back from Japan.
It's a good movie.
I was like, fuck, it's a good movie, man. Like, it's so good. And then I got to the third act and the plane landed, and I was like, I didn't miss much.
Are they still doing the Rian Johnson trilogy? Wasn't that announced?
They're still technically doing it, right? But
it's been like It's now in like kind of production, quiet hiatus thing. Recently there was an article, sorry, that I didn't include last week where it was like he was like, "Oh, it's still happening. We're just trying to figure out like what and when." And it's like, all right.
My hope is that they don't. And my hope is that they don't move forward with the Game of Thrones stuff. The DB Wise and John was Benioff.
Yeah.
I don't want to see them do it either. I think they really need to take some time and figure out how to move forward with Star Wars and come out of the gate with something very, very cool and very, very unique. Yeah. I think that with the ending of the last Game of Thrones season, I'm like that. I lost all confidence in those guys with that.
I agree,
especially if they're coming up with their own unique work.
Right.
I just don't think it works.
And that's the scariest part is that was written by them, right? With like an outline, and it's just like, ooh, this doesn't make us excited. But that also, you have to remember, then there's the caveat of like, well, they had to finish someone else's story, and if it's like a new saga that we're being introduced to in Star Wars, maybe it's okay because like that might be their own thing, and then they don't have to worry about anything, like tying in all these loose ends.
Yeah.
But
having said that, like, and again, we shit on Rian Johnson a lot for The Last Jedi, but I tell you what, like, Knives Out, that's the stuff I want to see from him.
I'm a big fan of Rian Johnson.
I'm a huge fan.
Yeah.
I really, really love Brick. If you haven't seen Brick, it's on Netflix right now. It's been on my queue for months, and I just keep it on there to remind myself of how great a movie it is. Yeah. He makes cool, quirky, niche, quasi-indie films. Starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and I love it. Let's make this happen. I don't want to see more of him doing the grander scale because I just don't think he's very well.
But I mean, I think if it's characters that we don't have attachments to, and he makes cool decisions with them, like great.
You're like, I think if it's people we don't know and he writes them well, the movie turns out good, we'll like it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's fair.
Yeah.
All right, now it's time for some ads.
Let's add it up. Add me up. Because if you add me up, I'll total to something.
Our only ad today is from Upstart. As most of us have found out the hard way, getting into debt is easy. Getting out is hard, especially if your credit score isn't great. Thankfully, now there's Upstart.com, the revolutionary lending platform that knows you're more than just your credit score and offers smarter interest rates to help you pay off your high-interest credit card debt. Tim's buddy, whose name will go unsaid, made some big mistakes with the credit cards and was paying them off for years with crazy high interest rates. His life would have been way better if he had access to Upstart. Upstart goes beyond the traditional credit score when assessing your credit worthiness. They actually reward you based on your education and job history in the form of a smarter interest rate. Upstart believes you're more than just your credit score. They make it fast, simple, and easy to check your rate in just a few minutes. The best part, once the loan is approved and accepted, most people get their funds the very next business day. That could be the next day. Over 300,000 people have used Upstart to pay off credit cards or meet their financial goals. Free yourself from the burden of high interest rate credit card debt by consolidating everything into one monthly payment with Upstart. See why Upstart is ranked #1 in their category with over 300 businesses on Trustpilot, and hurry to upstart.com/morning to find out how low your Upstart rate is. Checking your rate only takes a few minutes and won't affect your credit. That's upstart.com/morning. Now let's talk about some trailers.
Trailers.
Thank you, Nick.
You're welcome. I'm hitting it with these musical cues today.
Good. It's bringing the energy up. Good. I can feel it.
I like it.
Yeah. First trailer we're talking about is called Wounds.
Yeah, I'm never watching this movie.
My God, this looks goddamn terrifying. And I don't think I've seen a trailer in a while that has scared me this much. Where it's like, I want to watch it, but I don't know that I can.
Nope. It combines a lot of things that I just can't watch.
Yeah.
Right? One, Armie Hammer.
Why?
I'm just joking around. I like Armie Hammer. I'm just fucking with you.
I like Armie Hammer.
I like Armie Hammer.
He tries so hard, you know?
He's fine. And Dakota Johnson is fine as well.
Dakota Johnson's fantastic.
What this movie has that turns me off is a lot of bugs. A lot of bugs crawling out of people's skin, a lot of bugs crawling out of people's armpits, and a lot of bugs crawling out of people's the top of people's heads.
Yeah.
No, thank you. No, thank you. But I can't eat a burrito and watch you. I'm not going to do it.
It reminds me of the X-Files episode where I forget, they're in like a weird barn and there's like this weird bug that's infected this girl's arm. And you see it like moving around under her skin.
It's making me scared.
No, I don't like it.
It's
But,
every
like,
every,
Kevin, hold
every
me.
time a movie does that, I'm like, I hate you, movie. Like they did it with the Mummy, right, where they had the scarab
Yeah,
going
yeah,
underneath
yeah.
his
Oh,
arm.
man.
And he had to cut it out. I was like, nope,
That scared
Nope.
me as a
Not
child.
nope. I'm
Yeah.
sure horror fans will love this film.
Yeah. Blessing, any interest at all?
I'll probably watch it since it's Halloween season. I like that Zazie Beetz, is that her name?
Yeah.
The girl. Yeah, I'm a fan of her from Atlanta.
And I heard from Deadpool too.
Oh yeah, she was in Deadpool too.
She
Yeah.
played Domino.
And she did a great job on that too.
Yeah,
Great.
fantastic.
But yeah, I didn't hear about this movie before trailer talk, and so watching the trailer, I was like, on a regular day, I'd probably skip it, but I do have Hulu, and it is that season,
So
so
let me get that login, dog.
I mean, DM me.
No, step off, step
teasing.
off.
I'm teasing.
Yeah, this is an interesting one.
You're gonna watch it. You fucking love
Paula
horror shit.
definitely is gonna want to watch it. So
Does she love shit
we'll
like that?
see. Yeah, she loves.
I feel
horrible
like this movie
horror
was
stuff.
made for those people who go on YouTube and watch those extraction videos.
Oh God!
You know what I
Stop.
mean?
Please don't talk
Oh,
about
yeah.
them.
I know
Please
what
don't
you're
talk
talking
about them.
Like those
Yeah.
sick
Stop,
fuckers
you're talking about
that
them.
love watching this like pimple popping and
Ah,
like ingrown hair
Let's-
extractions.
Yeah, dude.
Move
Stop
on
it.
to our
Bro,
next
I'm with you.
trailer. Moving on to our next trailer that we're talking
Sick
about.
fucks.
Uncut Gems.
This looks great.
Yeah.
Now this is again, you and I have
Does it
talked
look
about
great?
it.
I don't know if I.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's either going to be fucking wild and cool and off the wall,
Mhm.
or it's going to be just a shit show. But I love Adam Sandler. I've been an Adam Sandler fan forever, and I loved him.
Even in his
I love
See-
Funny People. I thought it was a great movie.
sure,
Yeah,
but the
Funny
stuff
People's
that he
great.
did after that on Netflix and like Click.
First off,
You didn't like Click?
No, I didn't. Know.
how dare you talk shit about Click in my presence? We're going to Bed Bath.
Nah, you're in the minority on this one, Kevin.
You love Click too?
Yeah,
Click
dude,
is a good movie.
Click is a fun movie.
It's not
fun.
a good movie.
It's fun. It's a fun
Okay,
movie.
thank you.
Yeah.
It's
Thank
in the
you.
middle. It's in the middle of the scale.
Yeah.
What was the last Adam Sandler movie that you liked though?
The last Adam Sandler movie that I liked,
Yeah.
that I legitimately liked, was
Yeah.
probably Funny People.
Okay.
I
I
think.
liked his last movie. The
The Murder Mystery.
yeah,
I did not like that.
Is that the one
movie.
with
Jennifer Aniston.
Was that good?
Aniston.
You liked it?
No.
I don't know that I can
It
say
was
it
half
was
a movie at
good.
best.
It was.
I
I
remember
enjoyed it though. I
Yeah,
enjoyed the movie.
I remember
thought
the
they
trailer
had
being
good-
Tier
yeah.
Netflix movie.
like
Yeah,
I watched
for
the trailer
sure.
and I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch this, and then I just like
Yeah.
never remembered to watch it.
No, I watched. I was on vacation recently, and I watched Mr. Deeds. It was on it. It was on a TV.
Mr. Deeds is great.
I was like, it's a good movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Silly movie. There's two Adam Sandlers. There's Adam Sandler's old school Adam Sandler, like
There's
Adam
three
Sandler
Adam
1.0.
Sandlers.
There's three. Well, I
Yeah.
don't talk about the third. Two. One is the Happy Gilmore, Happy Madison
Yeah.
Adam Sandler,
Yeah.
right? Who gave us such classics as The Wedding Singer and Billy Madison and all that stuff. And then there's the I want to win an Academy Award because I want the respect of my peers.
Punch Drunk
That's
Love.
the Punch Drunk Love. That's the Funny People. He did a couple other ones in there. The Shoe Cobbler one, The Cobbler.
No, I think that was
Mm.
bad.
I'm
that
saying
was
these are
the-
the movies he's trying to do.
No,
Yeah.
but it wasn't the Shoe Cobbler one, the one where he puts on people's shoes, and
But I think it was an indie. I think it was like it was supposed to be a serious film.
I think that was a Netflix movie.
Well, either way, I don't think.
Yeah.
I'm saying that was him trying to be a serious actor. And then there's the Adam Sandler. I just want a paycheck.
Yeah, where
And that's my least favorite.
Yeah.
That's the
Adam
one where he
Sandler.
did with his sister. Or
That's
like,
the
what was
the
his sister?
ridiculous six. That's the
Yeah.
the me me, and then I'm gonna dress up as a woman and be my twin sister.
God.
Fuck, those are bad.
Ingenious, yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I don't
This
even
one
know what my
seemed.
point was with that.
This one seems like
Oh.
Adam Sandler 2.0, like
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
second version.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying.
Yeah.
This is A24, which we love and respect.
Yeah.
And this Adam Sandler looks. I mean, this is what's telling. For the first 15, 20 seconds of this trailer, I was like, "Oh, this looks fucking crazy. Oh, that's Adam Sandler. Fuck. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I had the exact same reaction.
This could be cool. This could be
Yeah,
cool.
and I like that Lakeith Stanfield's in it once again.
yeah.
I love from Atlanta.
What's-
And Sorry to Bother You.
Sorry about
Yes.
you using
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
And what's her name's in it? The woman who John Travolta slaughtered her name on the Academy Awards after Frozen. Idina
Oh,
Menzel.
God.
Menzel.
Mm.
I think she plays his wife. I think it looks cool. I mean, A24 picks very interesting
Yep.
and sometimes polarizing, but really fun projects. I think it's the studio that gives Booksmart, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've done so much so far,
but,
the
like,
last couple of years.
They don't make those movies; they just
No, but
acquire
they
them,
pick
right?
projects that they put
Yeah.
out projects that that align well with
Yeah.
their brand,
Yeah.
and their brand is really cool, thought-provoking indie projects, and I like that.
Yeah, the early talks from this movie from like film festivals and stuff. Or like, he's really gunning for an Academy Award on this one.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it
yeah.
is exciting.
Good for him.
And Nick, for just recent A24, you got like The Farewell, Last Black Man in San Francisco.
Yeah,
They
The Farewell was
really
great.
they really like to go and like tie their name to like
You watched The
high.
Farewell?
Yeah, it's great.
Isn't
So
the ending just perfect?
Fuck, dude.
So good. All right. Let's move on to our next movie or trailer. And this is a good one. El Camino.
Yeah, you know, and I know Barrett and Andy will have a lot to say about this, but my reaction to this was very surprising because
Yeah.
when they said, "Hey, we're doing a Breaking Bad movie," I said, "Okay, I'm a fan of Breaking Bad. I'll probably watch this." I'm like, they said Netflix. I'm like, cool. I don't have to pay for it. I don't have to go to the theaters. Great, I'll watch this. Then I start watching the trailer and I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yep.
You know,
You almost don't.
I'm
You almost
in the
don't
same
realize.
boat.
You almost don't realize it's real until you watch it, and you're like, "Oh yeah, this is Breaking Bad, isn't
Right,
it?" Yeah.
I forgot. It gave me anxiety. I was like, oh fuck,
Yeah.
I forgot how intense this universe is. I think it looks good.
Yeah.
I'm very surprised.
Me
Really?
too. Well, I was like, I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I watched Breaking Bad. I don't watch Better Call Saul.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I watched the first season. I just couldn't get into it. And then watching this trailer, I was shocked by how many moments in the trailer I was like,
Got me.
oh shit. Because there was 2 trailers came out this week. There was this trailer's 2 minutes and 16 seconds. And the other one it was like 1:30 for like Emmy consideration.
Yeah.
And that one was really cool too. That was just
Jesse.
sitting in his car with the radio and like them
Yeah.
talking about like
The
9 bodies
the-
have been found. It seems like some sort of automatic machine gun was used, and and that's pretty much all that trailer is. And then this one, you have like a bigger. There's so many clips that you see.
Well, I
Brandon, you
mean,
wanna bring it
Barrett's,
up?
Yeah, I can
Barrett's
bring it
just,
up.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Where you're like, oh shit, that's this, and that, and it's just like, oh man, I'm really
Yeah.
more stoked than I thought I was gonna be.
They really nailed tone with this trailer. Like I think watching Breaking Bad originally, like you feel like you're in that show, right? Like you feel tense watching it because like every moment of that show feels tense. Watching this trailer brought me back to that in a real way.
Absolutely.
Yeah, mainly because of the way it's shot. Mainly because like did they have voiceover in this trailer? Or did I just make that up in my head?
I think it was a song. It was a
Was
very
it a song?
haunting
Yeah.
song.
Yeah,
during
maybe
the
that's what
trailer.
it was.
There's like a kind of conversation at the very end of this the trailer, but that's really about it.
Yeah, but I remember like by the time I finished watching this trailer, I was like, I feel like I'm back in there. You know.
What's his friend's name? Skinny Pete and the other one
yeah.
is
Badger.
Badger. Okay.
I
Yeah.
love they got those guys back.
and it's one of those things you see him and it's like, oh shit.
And this,
Skinny
and,
Pete back?
and then it's like it's great that I love that they're bringing him back really quick here. This is definitely a flashback to him hanging out with Mike Ehrmantraut. And so I love that they're bringing him back because this really feels like we're finally getting the season finale for Jesse Pinkman's character that he deserves. Because
Yeah.
the season finale for the show itself, I feel like, was way more focused on like Walt and his
Right.
journey. And I'm
It
glad
looks
that
like
we
he might be. Is he burying a body or is he going back to try to find if there's more money somewhere?
yeah,
Well, that
maybe
was the
yeah,
hair of
'cause-
someone, so presumably
Oh,
wrapped
was
in a
that
rug.
hair? I
So
thought that was a rug.
Yeah.
All right, well, he's burying a body
I
then.
think he's burying a body.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. I don't.
This is a nice little homage to an episode before he goes to the house where the dude gets the ATM like crushed on his head. This is a little nod back to he like kind of plays with this similar little bug beforehand. Just like little details like that where they're really going to evoke a lot of the emotion that you felt through first living this character's story. I'm very excited for.
Do we feel like it's gonna be a happy resolution for old Jesse Pinkman?
No, it
I
never
mean,
is.
I don't think
he's
so
always
either.
been a tragic character in the sense that, like, you know, he was a bad person that kind of like got really roped into more bad things. And,
Yeah.
Yeah, and he had like multiple ways out and like all of this stuff.
And at the end, they really like any dream that he had was fucking crushed in front of his face. You
Yeah,
know?
absolutely.
And
But
he was
to go back to the Skinny Pete and Badger thing, like they are definitely like, if you look at him in like almost the Hamlet role, they are definitely the Rosencrantz and Guildenstern of like these weird like little buddies that are just kind of on the adventure and don't really know what's
Right,
going
right,
on.
right,
And so
right.
like I really love that they needed those characters back. But fuck, I'm so excited.
Me
We're
too.
2 weeks away today.
Hmm.
I know.
You gonna finish it? You
Oh,
gonna be
yeah.
done in time?
Oh yeah.
All right, that's what I'm talking about. Next trailer I want to talk about: Frozen 2.
Huh.
Got a lot more got a lot better look at what Frozen 2 is gonna
Yeah,
be.
we finally kind of understand what
down.
the plot's gonna be.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
It looks
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's almost one of those things where I wish I didn't watch the trailer because it'd be nice to go in fresh.
I have a feeling there's gonna be a lot of like cool stuff.
Surprises?
That aren't being included here.
Yeah.
Like this is all kind of setting up like, hey, there's some sort of mystery. Be excited for this mystery. And like I feel like Disney with Frozen, like they care a lot because it made them a fuck ton of money.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and it looks good. And
Yeah.
there's a couple touching moments in this. The dad reading the story to the 2 younger sisters. I think it looks cool.
Yeah, I got mad chills when I think it was Elsa that was like, "Don't follow me into the fire," and Anna was like, "Then stop going into the fire."
Oh, that,
right,
yeah,
dude?
that was a
Just
great moment.
Goosebumps.
And it's like Frozen. I feel like the lesson at the end was like about like family love and being there for your siblings. And like I like the idea of like, hey, you keep putting yourself at risk, and like I care about you, so I'm gonna be there for you. I'm just very excited to see where this goes. Will this have the slaps though?
Yeah,
We'll have the slabs.
Yeah.
I mean,
I hope.
we'll see.
Yeah,
It's gonna be, that's gonna be hard.
They must have gotten the same writers back for it, right? The people that did the music for the first one,
Sure.
the ones that won
Yeah.
Academy Awards for it.
Yeah, sure. That'd be silly
If
for
they
them not
did,
to.
but I mean, Let It Go is
Yeah, I don't think
god tier level.
I don't
song,
think you
so-
can't just replicate that. That's
Yeah.
like almost I mean that is like an artist trying to replicate like their biggest hit.
Yeah,
right.
it's not gonna happen.
You just can't. You might be able to, but it's gonna be really difficult.
We'll see.
Last trailer we're talking about,
Yeah,
The Irishman.
yeah. I
So
wish
this
I
is
hadn't
the-
seen this trailer.
Yeah.
Really?
I didn't like
Oh.
this trailer.
Oh, see,
The
this
first
is
trailer,
this is the first trailer I've seen.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I think they released another trailer for it earlier in the year.
Yes.
And it was way better because it really focused on a little bit of the mystery behind who Robert De Niro's character is. It set up the world a little bit better. Or excuse me, it didn't set up the world at all. We just kind of got a taste of what it felt like. And I thought it was a better trailer. This seems very disjointed, and I don't know. It doesn't ward me off by any stretch of the imagination. I still think it's going to be great, but it makes it feel a lot more like a Netflix movie than I want it to be.
Which
and that
it is,
scares
to be
me.
fair.
Which it is.
Yeah.
And that's not to say they can't make phenomenal movies, because we've seen Netflix making phenomenal movies, and especially some of the ones they know are going to be in Academy Award contention, so they'll put them out in theaters and stuff like that. So they have confidence in their films, and I do too. But this one was the first I was like, this is Scorsese and De Niro and Pacino, and it's like the trailer itself, I just didn't feel like elevated the movie to where I needed it to be.
I think the thing for me is that the trailer is very much telling me that it's Scorsese and De Niro and Pacino, and it's telling me that more
And
than
Pesci.
and Pesci, and it's telling me more about who's involved with the movie than like really like selling me on no, this is like why you should care about the movie and the writing and what's going on in the narrative itself.
Yeah.
Like it very much feels like of course the people involved in this movie is what is going to market this movie, and that is why this movie is going to get like a deluge of streams, right? But like I want to care more about what's going on in the movie, especially as somebody, I'm young, right? And so I don't necessarily like have that same affinity, for Scorsese and all it in the people involved in this. And so,
well, the importance of this film for me is that they're it's like it's just interesting to watch him almost put the band back together, right? Like working with De Niro and Pacino and
all he needs
Pesci, and is Harvey Keitel in this? I'm sure he's in there somewhere. It's I mean, these are people that have, it's like watching an all-star team get back together to play one more game. You're like, they're gonna crush. It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
It's just this one particular trailer didn't get me as hyped as I wanted to be for it.
I felt like it set up the story in a good way, where it's like, oh, okay, so this guy
Definitely
working
a
for the
great
mafia
world in which to play in, right? We're talking
building
about
with-
Jimmy
yeah.
Hoffa. We're going with historical events and things like
Yeah.
that. And this Irishman is an enforcer for the mob.
but it's like working, like undercover maybe for Jimmy Hoffa, but also Jimmy Hoffa winning him over.
Yeah,
Interesting stuff.
it could be cool.
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be cool.
Yeah.
It's going to be cool.
See, for me, like the trailer, what it wanted to do was be like, hey, remember Casino? Remember Bronx Tale? Like it's one of these
Goodfellas?
movies. Yeah,
It's Goodfellas.
It's one of these movies.
We're going back to Goodfellas.
Yeah, exactly.
And I love that. The only thing that I guess I didn't like about the trailer was that, to me, like Scorsese's at his best when he's doing a Goodfellas or when he's doing a Wolf of Wall Street, and that is a character that we find that we hate and love all at the same time, that we want to fail, but are also rooting for it to succeed. It's breaking the fourth wall. It's having that kind of awareness that the character is in the movie, but that, like those moments where like Leonardo DiCaprio in Wolf of Wall Street stops and starts talking right to the camera. That is like classic Scorsese, right? That we had that in Goodfellas where he's narrating his own journey. I don't think we're gonna get that in this. So I think it's gonna be more of a traditional film, like more in line with The Departed or things like that. I'm not gonna talk shit about The Departed.
Yeah,
but it was rubbish. But
there it is.
But
rubbish.
I still think it's gonna be great. It's just when I think the trailers like really got me hyped for his last film, like Wolf of Wall Street. Like those trailers, you can't come on, it's undeniable, undeniably like the energy that this movie's gonna give. And I watched Wolf of Wall Street again on the plane to Japan, and it's so fucking good.
So fucking good.
And man, I gotta find this movie someplace because I watched it on recently. I watched it on AMC, of course, highly edited, and then I watched it on the plane, and I was like, oh, they're like the part where like Margot Robbie, when we first see her nude, they punched in so far that it was just a blurry pixel of her face, and I'm like, I gotta watch this. I gotta fucking rent this movie.
Do they censor on planes?
They censored that one on a plane for some
weird.
reason, and I don't know
I've
why.
definitely been on planes where things weren't censored.
There was no nudity in the film at all, but all the language was still there, obviously, because you'll see with headphones, so it doesn't matter. But yeah, there was no nudity at all in the film, which is not Wolf of Wall Street.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, we're going a little long. Do you guys think I should nix this next topic?
The Emmys topic? Oh, we can briefly talk about it if you want.
Briefly talk about it.
Yeah,
Barry,
we
can
can
you
go
pull
through it
up the Emmy list first? The Emmys happened this last weekend.
Yeah.
Did you watch it?
Not at all.
No, me neither.
Yeah, I didn't watch it
to
either.
the point where when I was seeing news stories pop, and I was like, oh, I wonder when the Emmys are, and they had already passed.
Yeah.
And I think
I was out to dinner and someone was like, "Oh, Zendaya's outfit at the Emmys were really good," and I was like, "What are you talking about?"
yeah.
It was like, "Oh, it happened earlier today."
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I don't know. I think that's just a systematic issue that television is having in general, is that the importance of things like the Emmys are going the way of the dodo because people don't watch TV on TV anymore.
Yeah.
And so watching a bunch of TV stars get together to celebrate each other's TV stuff is not incredibly enticing to me. I'd rather just watch Fleabag on Amazon if I can,
So the biggest thing to come out of the Emmys is that like so many of their awards went to Amazon, Netflix, Hulu,
HBO looks
like.
HBO, like HBO more traditional, but like less traditional like TV.
The streaming services,
Yeah.
what you would think of, quote unquote,
Yeah.
the streaming services.
You want to go through a couple?
Let's go through it.
So we have outstanding drama, and that was Game of Thrones, which just doesn't make any sense.
No, that's
Did
rubbish.
they not watch Ozark or Succession? There were so many other options. Better Call Saul. I mean,
People really like This Is Us as well.
yeah.
Game of Thrones, I feel like you got to give them the legacy nod because like last season you finished it, you were
man.
done.
Yeah, but like that's the season that they're
It's
judging it
like
on.
when they gave Scorsese the Academy Award for Departed when clearly he should have gotten it for Wolf of Wall Street
you're hurting
a
my
year
feelings.
later or a couple years later or
A
Goodfellas,
a good amount of years later,
I
Nick.
think it was like 2 years later.
whatever. He should've got
Departed
it
and
for
Wolf of Wall Street?
Oh no, I meant Wolf of Wall Street and The Revenant.
Oh, yeah.
What do we have? Outstanding comedy series, Fleabag. I really enjoy.
People really like Fleabag.
I
haven't
really
watched
like
yet.
it, but I feel like Marvelous Miss Maisel and Barry really were like
That is outstanding
Barry's
comedy series
season-
that is a fucking
It was a
deep
good
lineup
year.
of
Good
great.
year.
Barry's
Yeah.
great. Fleabag's great. I watched Good Place. Miss
not
Maison's
great.
great.
Wait, you don't like The
Veep
Good
is-
Place?
Oh, no. The
Wait,
Good Place is fucking
The Good
awesome.
Place is great.
not the latest season. Or not,
Wait, what?
Yeah,
Season 3?
dude.
That's
The
a Kristen
Good Place-
Bell movie or a series?
Yeah, it's the Kirsten Bell one.
I
Yeah.
haven't watched it yet.
Season 1, half of it is really good, and then once the big reveal happens, I feel like then it's like turns into a cartoon show,
Dude,
Yeah.
and it commits to that for a long time.
I will
Like-
say all of those shows that are on that list are
Yeah.
great,
Yeah.
but none of them hold a candle to Veep. Veep is the most fucked up, funny show. The last season,
And
of
that
Veep,
was the last season
dude.
too. That,
And when it's the last season of
Yeah.
an HBO show starring Julia Louis-Dreyfus, they don't give a fuck. Man,
might
they
have to
didn't
watch
give a
Veep.
fuck that last show, and it's so funny and so messed up and so twisted.
yeah.
God, it's
I gotta
good.
watch that. Russian Doll I also enjoyed.
Well, was Russian Doll a comedy?
No. Yeah, I wouldn't call it a comedy.
It kind of
Because I also wouldn't call Barry a comedy either. I guess it's a
Barry,
comedy.
I would call
guess
a
it's
comedy.
It's a dark
but
comedy,
Russian
for sure.
Dolls felt more of a drama to me.
Yeah, I saw
it's
one
both.
episode of it. I was like, this is
Yeah.
intense.
It's definitely intense, but they definitely like make light of a lot of the things going on in the show, even though like what's going on in the show is pretty serious.
Outstanding limited series, Chernobyl, of course.
Still need to watch it.
If you are up against Chernobyl, and this is no knock against Sharp Objects, but go fuck yourself.
Okay,
Chernobyl was amazing.
You could have said it any
It
other
was
way.
amazing.
This one's an interesting one. Outstanding television movie. Bandersnatch.
That's a
Wait,
television
really?
movie?
Right?
The Emmys do this shit.
So that's on
That's
Netflix.
weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did not like Bandersnatch.
Outstanding lead actress in a drama series. I think that who is it?
Jodie
Laura
Comer.
Linney got robbed. She was so good in Ozark season 2, so good. But shout out to have you ever heard of
Yes.
Killing Eve? Because I've never.
Yeah,
heard of it.
it's the show with Sandra Oh. It's like a show about her and like a serial killer girl. I don't know. It looks very weird. I tried watching an episode. I was like, this is very off to me. But people like it. I don't know what Posse is. Oh. Let's see. Kit Harington. Let's scroll down here and see if there's any more notable. Oh, Bill Hader one for Barry. That's great.
yeah,
Good for
really
him.
good.
The Dink one for,
Also,
Game of
Phoebe,
Thrones.
what's her Waller-Bridge, one for Fleabag.
Oh, good.
For outstanding lead actor. Outstanding supporting actress in a drama series, Julia
the
Garner. No, that's like the
Oh, the crazy like kind
little
of poor
blonde
girl.
Yeah,
Yeah, from the trailer
For
park. Yeah, she's
Ozark.
fucking great.
Yeah.
Ozark is the Jason Bateman one, right?
God, I can't watch it.
Yeah.
Okay, I watched the first season. I need to catch up because I
Dude.
didn't know if it continued to be
I
as
watched
good as
It's so
I watched
good.
the first season and found myself staying up late at night looking out my window.
that. Yeah, and is that
It's
kind of
so
show?
fucked up.
It is
It's
that
so
kind of show.
fucked up.
Yeah.
I think
Oh.
it's phenomenal, and I highly recommend it.
I
it won several awards. Really exciting to see.
I stopped because of how stressful it was.
Yeah, it's very stressful.
Yeah.
Looks like Miss Maisel took a couple.
Jane Lynch, yeah.
Jane Lynch is great. Miss
Yeah,
Maisel.
and
She's
she was
great.
phenomenal.
Let's see. Oh, Michelle Williams won for Fosse. Have you guys watched Fosse?
No.
It's my wife was watching it, and I sat down and watched one of the episodes. It's great. Sam
Yeah.
Rockwell plays Bob Fosse. It's a fucking really cool little series.
Chernobyl
Hell yeah, Chernobyl.
for directing.
Yeah, so there's a bunch of there's a lot of categories in the Emmys, but we're seeing Chernobyl,
Sorry, I won a couple.
Ozark
Yeah.
in there again.
Last Week Tonight with John Oliver won for best variety series. I gotta start watching Last Week Tonight.
It's
It
really
is.
good.
I know.
It
Every time I
is
see the
very
preview for it, I'm
good.
like,
So
oh, that's
good,
really
dude.
funny. I
Yeah.
should watch that.
Yeah,
I
it
think
is.
it's just because I don't want to be stressed out about shit on Sunday nights. You know,
They do
I
a
feel
good
that.
job of making it
fun. I know,
Fun,
but
yeah.
it's gonna. You
But it
mentioned
is- yeah,
Trump,
some
and
of
it's
them are
it's like,
upsetting.
I don't want to hear.
They're
about
very well constructed in terms of
Yeah.
like the beats they try to hit and the way they construct their arguments for what they're trying to convey.
Absolutely.
At the end of the day, so good and very funny.
I think the major note that came out of the Emmys is you should be watching Ozark. Season 3, right around the corner, maybe. They
Yeah.
haven't announced the date, but they're starting to talk about it again.
Man.
Very exciting stuff. Commit to it. It's fucked
Just
up,
the
but
way
it'll make you stronger.
the way
It'll
season,
make you stronger.
the way
Blessing.
season 1 ended just ripped my heart out,
Yeah.
and I was just like, I don't know if I can continue this.
Now time for out on streaming platforms. The Netflix has The Politician, which is that Tim ass show about some dude.
I'm not gonna watch that.
You're not
either.
gonna watch
It's too
it?
intense, man.
Where the kid is
The
running
kid,
for
yeah, it
class
looks
president.
way too intense.
Oh man, that looks awesome. Amazon Prime is streaming Face Off, so go watch that.
He's gonna take my face off. That was a little Jeff Goldblum
Yeah,
doing
that's-
it, but Jeff Goldblum and Nick Cage, same person.
It's true.
And then on Hulu, South Park season 23 has started.
Ooh.
So
23,
you have
Jesus.
episode 1 to go check
What
out.
do you think Trey Parker and Matt Stone do all day now? Do you think they just
Just smoke
swim
weed.
in money and smoke weed?
No, they just constantly make this show.
I guess so.
They make the episodes in
But
like
yeah, you gotta imagine
2 days.
You gotta imagine at this point, they're probably not doing much on it. Just
Yeah,
hanging
the
out.
show is really.
I still do keep up with-
I
South
actually
Park.
I haven't kept up with it. It's good.
It's been better, but
Yeah.
I still enjoy it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What it was the season when they started doing like the long form. Let's do
Yeah.
one story over
That
one.
was that was like
season.
3
Serialized.
seasons ago or something,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Maybe
probably
18?
It's been a while now.
It was
Yeah,
like
so I-
2016
I-
or something like that.
somewhere
yeah.
around there where they started doing that.
Yeah.
And like, has that been fun?
It has its ups and downs. I do like some of the bits get extended because of it. So like
Yeah.
like the PC principal lasted for a while, and like I like the fact that he was around for more than one episode. But now at a certain point, I'm like, all right, you can do away with him. Like I don't care, but I don't like this character anymore.
Okay. Movie theaters out in movie theaters near you. We've got Abominable.
Abominable?
Abominable.
What the hell is that? Is it about a snowman?
Yeah.
It's a kids movie.
It's Yeti film.
Oh,
by,
yeah. It actually looks kind of
DreamWorks, I think.
Yeah.
Paul was
it looks
excited for
I
it.
got you.
I'm
I
not.
got you.
And also Judy, which is about Judy Garland.
Which I think I saw the preview for a while back. Looks
Yeah,
pretty good.
it's got
Who was the actress playing it?
Reese? No, not Reese.
Oh,
Renee Zellweger.
Zellweger,
Yeah,
that's
yeah, yeah. And the death of Dick Long. And if you don't know what that is, you should watch the trailer. It looks really interesting.
Okay. Yeah.
I almost went to watch it this Monday if life hadn't been so ridiculously stressful.
Is this guy blowing fire out of his dick?
What?
What
Look
are
at
you?
this, look at this. The
What-
death
what
of
are you
Dick Long
looking-
poster. Looks like a guy's blowing fire out of his dick.
Oh yeah,
I'm not
I
making
didn't
this up.
realize
That's
that.
awesome.
It looks like at fire. So it's about 4 friends who are hanging out together. Then they do something stupid. They don't reveal what it is in the trailer.
blast his
And
dick
one
off
of
with a
the
fire
one of the friends gets dropped off in the emergency room. The next day they find out he died,
Oh shit.
and then now it's the 3 other friends trying to hide it.
Oh no, I don't like movies like that.
Oh,
Gives me anxiety.
it looks cool. It looks really cool.
Okay,
You
let's
should go
get
check
some
it out.
fireworks.
No, because you're gonna want to put it on your dick, because that's what you just saw.
Yeah, but,
Last
like,
week I asked you for your topic at the bronze tier level. Give me your playlist for Halloween movies, because Joey wanted to know, but Joey's
Oh,
sick,
so
so
good.
she'll never know now. Also, you guys are really bad at putting together playlists, with one exception.
How dare you?
Prince Jackson, the Head
Yeah.
Night. You killed it. Couldn't figure out how to do it on Patreon, but you did tweet it at us as well, so that worked out. Your list goes as follows. Have you ever heard of this app, Shudder?
A lot of people just started talking to me about it, like through Twitter yesterday
Shudder
when
pretty cool?
when we put it up on
Yeah.
that question out, and like everybody was like, you should check out the Shudder streaming service because it's
Interesting. Is
all
it like horror based?
It seems to be all like horror based movies.
So the first batch of the list is on Shudder, and Train to Busan, which is also on Netflix. Number 2 is Tigers Are Not Afraid. Incident in Ghostland is number 3. Number 4, we have The Quiet Room. Number 5, The Transfiguration. Number 6, we've got Stakeland. A lot of movies I've never even kind of heard of. 7, Hagazusa.
Hagazusa.
All right, Hagazusa. The Night Shifters, number 8. Ganja and Hess, number 10.
No, that's number 9.
Oh, number 9, you're right. Number 10 is Horror Noir. 11, Mandy. Mandy's about like where the parents go all crazy, right? Like that's the first movie on this list that I think I'm recognizing.
number 12.
Number 12, yeah, Summer of '84. Number 13, The Awakening. Number 14, Terrified. Number 15, Halloween. Number 16, Let the Right One In,
Which is
a good movie.
amazing.
Wait,
Yeah.
wait, which version?
I'm talking about the Danish,
American version?
Danish version, Norwegian.
Yeah, I think it's
I just say foreign.
the
I
foreign.
can't- I
Yeah, that's a
forget
great
what
call. It's a great.
Man, yeah, that's just
Yeah.
fucked up.
Did you ever watch the American version?
No, I think I remember. I think I only watched the foreign version.
I
and
heard
it's
that it was a
fucked up.
shot-for-shot remake.
Interesting.
Yeah.
What's it called?
Let the right
One
one
In.
in.
It's
It's about
originally
a
from
little kid who
Sweden.
befriends a vampire,
Oh,
Mhm.
really?
and then the vampire like it's fucked
fucked
up.
up.
It's
I gotta
fucked
check
up.
this out. This sounds awesome.
It's really
Yeah.
cool,
It's like Twilight, but better.
but real.
Ooh.
yeah.
Okay.
It's if
It's
the
nothing
vampires
like
didn't.
Twilight.
But
bang
it's
each other
but
and
it's
they
also
ate
like
each
real.
other's
It's like
cousins.
little kids, not high schoolers
Yeah.
and shit.
Yeah, they're like little kids.
Okay.
Number 17 is Mayhem. Number 18, Prom Night. Fuck it, it's a fun movie.
All right.
All right.
Number 19, Hell House LLC.
Okay.
Okay, all right. Now we're moving on to Netflix movies you can all see. Day 20, he watches Autopsy of Jane Doe. 21, The Ritual. 22, Hush. 23, Gerald's Game.
Oof.
Gerald's Game?
Gerald.
Gerald's Game?
And he says not for the
Not for the
squeamish.
squeamish.
Yeah.
What's that movie
Definitely
about?
not. It's the one. It's a Stephen King movie that with I forget the actress's name, but she gets accidentally handcuffed to a bed during some sex play, and then her husband dies, has a heart attack, and
Oh
then
my
so she
God.
has to basically like figure out how to get the fuck out of there. And then they went to this remote cabin to like rekindle their relationship, so no one's around. So it's either she gets out of this thing somehow, or and there's like wolves and shit outside, and maybe a serial killer on the loose.
Oh,
and
wow.
she's
Oh my
gotta
God.
Figure out how to fucking.
Jesus.
It's fucked up.
So it's on Netflix. You can watch that now.
It's fucked up.
Yeah, Marianne, French TV show.
Then you tag gangster in the.
Not sure if you like horror. Got
yeah.
it. Number 25. So full rent with prices. Number 25 is Trick and Treat. No.
Trick or
Trick
treat.
or Treat. Trick or Treat. That's what it is. $2.99. There's a weird apostrophe. It's freaking me out. 26, The Babadook. I agree with that one. $3. I've heard a lot of good things about number 27, which is Rec. Also $3. Rec.
What's that?
REC.
What is it?
It's about like these kids go in to break in to steal. I want to say it's a cassette from someone's house or something from someone's house, and they find it's like full of cassette tapes, and they put one in, and it's like fucked up horror shit.
Oh.
And then it's like a vignette about those three, the three movies that they're watching.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. 28 is The Crazies, and then 29 we move on to Amazon, where he's got Hereditary, which is a great goddamn movie. 30 we've got Goodnight Mommy, which I've heard stuff about but I've not seen.
A lot of people are yelling at you in the chat, by the way. You're thinking of VHS.
Oh, I am.
Rec seems to be a found footage, like zombie movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, close enough.
Yeah.
And then 28 we have The Crazies. No, wait.
No,
I already did that. Yeah.
yeah.
31 is The Hole in the Ground.
Scary.
And that is his list.
There you go.
It's a good list. If you want to follow along and actually do that for the month of October, let me know how it goes. I'm not one for scary movies, so no, thank you. Couple other people wrote in and gave me a movie that they like watching the streaming. Let's see. Frankie says Cabin in the Woods is great.
Great.
Spooky movie to watch towards the end of October. Once you get a real feel for the horror tropes from over the years, just to have them all crash down around you in the movie. Totally true. It's amazing.
It's
I
really
love
cool.
it. Yeah.
That's a good movie.
Wait,
Wait, is Cabin in the Woods? That's the Joss Whedon one, right? With Hemsworth?
Yeah.
That was a good one.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
getting that confused with Cabin Fever.
Yeah.
Which I do not like.
Yeah.
Because I can't. It's too gross.
Mike Olson says, Ad Astra is visually stunning, but I wish I had more of their sci-fi elements like Arrival and Interstellar. Wait, that was last week's response. Halloween Town, every day till Halloween, starting October 1st. Making a lot of sense.
There you go.
Let's do one more. Give
I
me
got a great
second.
Halloween movie for everyone to watch.
Let me do this one real quick because I
Okay.
think you'll like it. Joe Mertens? I'll say that. Not sure it's spookier than Evil Dead trilogy, but the 4 actually spooky films I rewatch every October are Silence of the Lambs,
Natch.
The Exorcist,
Natch.
The Shining, and Alien. Happy early Halloween, suckers. Oh, wait, damn it. So it was combined with the other one. The one that I wanted to read was The Nanobiologist. I mean, that was good still. It's a good list. The Nanobiologist says, if it hasn't been mentioned yet, then y'all need to watch all of the Halloween heist episodes of Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, God.
They are all
so
on
good.
Hulu,
They're great.
and each of them are hilarious and embraces Halloween themes. Nick, what were you going to say?
I was going to say not a traditional Halloween movie per se, but still in the fantasy kind of crazy realm. HBO has Big Trouble in Little China right now, and it pairs very, very well if you Postmate yourself some Taco Bell.
That sounds great. That sounds absolutely great.
I watched
Kevin,
it last weekend.
real quick before we move on.
If you give me Jared Petty's list, I will come and kick you.
Blessing and I were talking a little
All
bit
right.
about some movies last night.
Okay, all right, so I like to hear. Let me hear 'em.
The one primary movie suggestion I have, and probably by extension, so does Blessing, is the live-action Scooby-Doo movie.
Oh.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good
Where
one. and
Scrappy
both-
Doo is the
Yeah.
villain, and it's fucking
Don't
weird.
spoil
Spoilers.
it. Don't spoil it.
It came out like
There's a bunch of kids
17
out there who's
oh,
never
okay.
seen it. You know what I mean?
Also, Jared Petty wanted to
Nope.
text me his
Get him
list,
out of here. Is it terrible?
But you know what? Fucker never texted me, so
Oh, there you
that's
go.
on him.
Good enough.
Did anyone mention? I'm sorry, I was in the chat for some of your list. Did anyone mention Sleepy Hollow?
No.
It's one of my favorite Halloween movies.
Really?
I love
Fair.
anything
Johnny Depp?
anything Tim Burton does. I love that. I love Beetlejuice. I'll throw that in as a
yeah.
Halloween movie. Highly recommend both of those.
Did I miss it, or did nobody say The Conjuring?
Nobody said The Conjuring.
I'm going to say The Conjuring.
Okay.
Excellent. All right. For next week's bronze topic, let me know what do you think of the Joker. That being said, we probably won't be able to talk about that till the following week because we are recording next week's screencast on Wednesday live.
That's right, ladies and
Because-
gentlemen.
Yeah.
Because they're going to do a Joker review on Wednesday, which means that KFAF is moving to Friday. We are swapping days. Ooh, it's crazy.
Say you like the Friday spot.
What's that?
It's a fun spot. That's
The
it.
Freaky Friday spot? That's
The
what it's
Friday
called
spot.
now.
Yeah, all right.
Freaky Friday.
Freaky Friday spot.
Freaky Friday.
All right, thank you so much for joining us today. You should follow us on social media. He is Nick at God, I'm all mixed up.
It's all good.
You can
At
follow
Nick
Nick
_
at
Scarpino.
under. Yeah, there you go.
What are you blessing? Say yours.
At Blessing Jr. That's at Blessing
Mm-hmm.
JR.
And you can follow me at Kinda Funny Kevin. There
Yes,
you go.
There it is.
I got you.
We got there.
Yeah, so go out and watch The Joker and let me know what you think. Thanks for joining us.